Imagine you are the most powerful man in the world. Your legions are an unstoppable machine, crushing all resistance, absorbing kingdoms into your new empire. You are Augustus Caesar, and the map is your canvas. Now, paint the wild, forested north of Germania. It's the last brushstroke. All it will take is 3 of your best legions, under a trusted governor, to finally bring civilization to those barbarian tribes. It is the year 9 AD, and in the dripping, mist-shrouded Teutoburg Forest, the Roman dream of conquest is about to meet a nightmare. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is Echoes of the Ancients. The man Augustus trusted was Publius Quinctilius Varus, a seasoned administrator. And the man who betrayed that trust was Arminius, a Germanic chieftain raised in Rome, given Roman citizenship, even military command. Arminius was the perfect insider. He saw the Roman war machine from within, learned its tactics, and understood its arrogance. To Varus, he was a loyal ally. To his own people, he was a patient architect of liberation. In late summer, Varus marched his 3 legions, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, deep into the trackless woods of Germania. His columns stretched for miles, nearly 20,000 soldiers, plus thousands of camp followers, slaves, and baggage animals. They were on a policing mission, not a war footing. Then, Arminius delivered his masterpiece of deception. He brought news of a local rebellion, a diversion far off the paved roads. Varus took the bait. He ordered his cumbersome column to divert straight into the heart of the forest. What followed wasn't a battle. It was a 3-day slaughter. The narrow paths Arminius led them onto became death traps. The ground turned to sucking mud under relentless rain. Suddenly, from the impenetrable tree-line, javelins and spears rained down. The Germanic warriors, using the land as a weapon, hit and melted away. The Romans, trained for open field combat, couldn't form ranks. Their heavy armor became a liability in the mud. The orderly column shattered into isolated pockets of desperate men, picked off one by one. By the 3rd day, it was over. All 3 legions were annihilated. Varus, seeing all was lost, fell on his own sword. When the news reached Rome, Augustus was shattered. Roman historians say he would wander his palace, beating his head against the walls, crying, "Quinctilius Varus, give me back my legions." The psychological blow was catastrophic. The numbers of the lost legions, 17, 18, 19, were never used again by the Roman army. They were cursed, and the grand ambition of conquering Germania up to the Elbe River died in that forest. The Rhine became the permanent border. Germania remained Germania Magna, a land outside the empire. But the true echo of Teutoburg isn't just a military defeat. It's a birth. For the first time, disparate Germanic tribes, the Cherusci, Marsi, Chatti, and others, had united under a single leader, Arminius, not as a kingdom, but for a common purpose, to repel an invader. In that victory, a shared sense of us versus them was forged. The Romans were the ultimate other. This moment planted the earliest seed of a collective Germanic identity, a story of a people who could defend their homeland against the greatest empire on earth. Centuries later, this story would be rediscovered and shaped into a founding myth for a modern nation. It's a story that always makes me pause. History often feels like the march of the inevitable, the rise and fall of empires, the spread of cultures. But Teutoburg reminds us of the power of the individual, the terrain, and the perfect storm. Arminius, the insider, used the knowledge of the system to break the system. The forest itself became the most powerful ally. And in that chaos, the course of a continent was altered. The map of Europe was drawn not just by emperors in marble halls, but by the choices made in a muddy, bloody forest. It's a humbling reminder that history isn't just written by the victors. Sometimes, it's rewritten by the survivors who refuse to be erased. This has been Echoes of the Ancients. Our stories are produced by Light Knot Studios. Find more threads of history, pulled from the tapestry of time, at https://www.lightknotstudios.com.